The Stormlands are at it again. Yeah, they're attempting to besiege Crow's Nest, and, well, I should say the Reach were at it again, because they actually attempted to besiege us as well, but they left just before the Stormlands appeared with 3 vassals out of nowhere and decided to attack us. Now, this is, of course, all included in a Clash of Kings 7.1 Welcome Back, Reformers, and this is gonna be the episode when I will be dedicating a pretty significant portion of the time to trying to capture Renly. Basically, that's going to be my entire objective for this episode, with the exception of obviously defeating any attackers that decide to attack Crow's Nest. I think I might allow Harrenhal to fall by the wayside now. If it becomes under siege again, I cannot possibly go back there and then expect to also capture Renly when he leaves, whenever that may be. I don't know when it's going to be, so we're going to just try our very best to thwart these guys' efforts and then head on to defeating Renly, or at the very least attempting to capture him, because obviously there's no sure way for me to capture him. It's just luck whether that is actually going to even be a thing. So I'm hopeful that we will be lucky enough to be able to, but it is, as I say, very much in the hands of the dice gods, and we will see if we can do anything. Now, there are 400 units here. Yeah. 400 enemy units. We've killed 187 so far, and there's going to be a pretty significant amount more. Now, the cool thing about this is that it actually does give Elias a pretty significant experience boost, and speaking of that, he's already leveled up to 27 just because of these sieges and siege defenses and so on and so forth, because these enemy units, they're not exactly difficult, especially with Crow's Nest's layout. It's just insane. The layout is fantastic. Everything about it is amazing, because even if they get up here, then they are going to get swarmed immediately by any Dragonstone unit that is in the vicinity. And this is just great for farming experience, basically. I mean, I would much rather not be doing it, don't get me wrong, because I'm not a big fan of long, drawn-out siege defenses, but it's necessary, and it is an integral part of Mount and Blade Warband, you know? And, you know, obviously because sieges are a pretty big deal, and it's not something that you can skip, really. So we're gonna have to just deal with this, and I've now eliminated 233, so that's pretty good. And I guess, well, hopefully they will come running to their deaths. Is it just me, or does this guy look like he has just found the secret to eternal life? Well, he's kind of dead at the moment, but maybe he found it beforehand. Ooh, the slaughter is upon us now. The one unfortunate thing that I should mention is that I'm actually really, really low in HP right now. I just took a huge amount of damage from someone. I think it was probably a Vanguard, and I'm dead. There you go. Anyway, Elias was able to get a pretty significant amount of kills before he succumbed to his injuries, and as a result, look at that. We only have 64 enemies remaining, and then they should be done. And I'm hopeful that I will be able to actually get out of the mess that we have going on here. Yeah, there we go. That's fantastic. Alright, so now I can actually start getting a couple of kills with our veteran Dragonstone Halberdier here as well. Now, in my waiting time off screen in between episodes, basically all I was doing was waiting for Renly to kind of come out of the garrison at the Weeping Town. He decided not to do that yet, but what has happened is that Sir Donald Swan got ransomed, and that means that we gained about 2,500 to 3,000. I can't remember exactly the number, but it was pretty good. Not too bad, you know, not great, you know, but pretty decent. So we got that from Sir Donald and his allies. And then, obviously, we are beset upon by these fellows. I was actually thinking of attacking them separately in field battles ahead of time, but then they decided to make their way over to Crow's Nest, and that was it. And so they kind of jumped the gun a little bit and got a bit of a head start on me. suffice it to say. So I do need to be a bit more aware of that and probably take them out on the fields of battle beforehand, because they were, I think I had a chance to eliminate one of them by themselves, which would have been so much easier. Alright, so it's kind of some difficult fighting ahead of me here, because as you can see, this is a very, very tight space, and, well, I have a very long weapon indeed, and it's going to be very difficult for me to utilize it in these close quarter situations, but, well, hopefully I will be able to, because these are the last remaining units of our opponent, and I was actually wrong, by the way. I was actually wrong with the amount of units that we actually had to fight here, and what? Oh, okay. I am kind of surprised about that. Anyway, yes, as I was saying, there's actually 470 units here instead of the 390 that I actually thought was here. So I guess one vassal must have joined us or something like that. Must have joined the battle just as we were, you know, wanting to defend. So as you can see, they lost 184 Stormlander Vanguards. That's pretty harsh. And 463 total. As you can see, Elias actually killed 231 of them. Pretty insane. And we gained some more relation. We're going to be taking these guys prisoner as is per usual. There we go. Oh wow, there's actually a lot, many more vassals than I anticipated. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm going to be taking these. Wow, there was actually like what, 5, 6 vassals right there? That's kind of crazy. Okay, do they have any knights? They don't, but they do have some mounted units, hammermen, and that's basically all I can take at the moment. Oh, I did not mean to do that. That was a misclick and a half. Oh well, never mind. I guess I can just take all of this stuff and sell it, because it's going to sell for a pretty nice amount of money, but that was really bad of me. I should find a town. Oh dear. I need to go all the way to King's Landing if I want to do that, or I can leave the port and go to Tyrosh or Sunspear. Technically I can go to Sunspear. Actually, you know, me taking that loot was actually really, really good for me, because I now have looted this thing, which is a thick-plated chainmail thing, and it is absolutely fantastic. As you can see right here, it is better than what I was wearing by a small margin. Of course, you know, small margin, that's absolutely fine, but still, it's an upgrade nevertheless, and I think that's pretty amazing. So I'm going to be keeping most of these things. We're going to take these shields and keep those too, because you never know, maybe I can give that to some of our companions, and we'll sell the light spear. Then what else do we want to do here? We want to buy all of this stuff, try and get our morale up that way, as we did make that mistake. So I will try to get as much food variety as possible, and then we'll go on from there. But as you can see, a pretty decent amount of money, 961, and there is a slave trader here as well, which is fantastic. So I can actually sell my guys for 800 coins. Well, this is a bit of a sticky situation that I got myself in, because as you can see, I actually got jetpacked. I mean, you couldn't see that, but maybe I'll include it in the final video. But anyway, the point is that I got jetpacked off the edge of the battlements, and then as you can see from the trail of bodies, I've literally been backpedaling this entire time, just killing them with overheads, and that's basically all I've been able to do so far. And I gotta say, I'm not entirely sure how I was even able to survive it, to be honest. I thought that was it. I thought I was a goner. I didn't think that anything was going to happen from it, and yeah, kind of insane. So anyway, I guess we're just going to continue fighting for our forces here and just try to survive as best we can. I have actually leveled up many times, not in this particular siege, but over the course of the last, I don't even know, couple of episodes of the series. I've leveled up so much, and I haven't even spec'd my points. I have so many weapon points, literally just from getting so many kills in these siege defenses. It is absolutely insane. So hopefully I will be able to show you that after this, if I can actually survive, which would be nice, but it's unlikely, isn't it? I mean, with the amount of bodies and people that are wanting to kill me so badly, it's going to be very tough indeed. And who knows, maybe I will. Who knows, maybe I will be able to survive. Just about. But there are more bodies out. Well, maybe there's probably not more bodies outside than there are inside. But, well, I mean, technically, yes, because obviously we're killing them on the ladder. But you know what I mean. Far away from the ladder, far away from the walls. And, you know, it's kind of a bit weird. So, yeah, that's definitely something to think about. But anyway, I'm just going to try and do a little bit of, like, glancing damage here. And just try and maybe sneak myself on the ladder. I don't think I'm going to be able to. Let's face it. So, I guess I will just have to deal some damage here and there. And this is kind of weird. They've got Westerlands units and Northern units fighting together. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yes, I forgot. Some of the Northern vassals did actually defect thanks to the quest that I did earlier on. That was fantastic. Yeah, it's very good decision-making on my part, but that's the thing, I didn't know. I didn't know that that quest actually did that, so I was hopeful that maybe it was just going to, well, not do anything, but maybe just give me some renown, a little bit of money and so on, and just see where we can go from there. But yeah, as it stands, I think I'm going to be dying soon. I am generally prioritizing offense over defense, and that's the reason why I'm probably going to be perishing in just a second. But that's just how it is, you know. Sometimes you just have to go with it, and if I do die, then that's just how it is. And who knows, maybe this has helped my forces get more and more kills than they would have otherwise. So I'm pretty happy with that. And maybe, just maybe, oh dear. Yes, problematic. Ah, there we go. Whoa, that was close. Okay. Yes, they're trying to get a glancing blow on me. Have you noticed? They're trying to get a really, really sneaky little 1 damage hit on me, because that's all they need. That's all they would have needed to eliminate me. Did you see? Do you see the path of bodies? Oh yes, I think you do. Ah, what an amazing feat that is. Anyway, we've already eliminated 210 units so far, and I'm stumbling all over the place, as is to be expected from Elias. Now, I don't know. I don't think I mean, there are, I think, 600 units here, so I doubt I'm gonna live until the end of this siege, and I actually would have hoped that we wouldn't have another siege. This is Harrenhal, by the way. Oh, 1 damage. Yes. Anyway, this is Harrenhal, and I decided to come here because Renly was being so incredibly stubborn that I actually ran out of, well, food. I ran out of food, had to come over to King's Landing. Actually, I can't even go into King's Landing anymore. Ah, yes. That was also fun, because I actually thought to myself, I can go into King's Landing, and then I went there, and obviously they're at war against us, so I had to go all the way over to, I believe, what was it, Maidenpool? Is that still part of the Riverlands, or is that not? I can't remember anymore, but the fact is that I had to go to a nearby town, get some food, and just in time made it to Harrenhal. But the amusing thing is, there's actually a vassal in here from Dragonstone that is helping us out in a pretty significant way, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to repay the favor at some point in the future. But anyway, as I said, Renly was being super stubborn, but I am, after this particular siege is over, going to be returning to the Weeping Town and see if he's actually still in there. Look at all of these guys before the text disappears. Ah, there we go, it's gone. Anyway, those guys, there's like, how many? I don't even know. There's like a whole text box full of vassals attempting to take this. And it's actually kind of amusing, really, because here's the funny thing. We defended against, I believe it was 600 and something units, I think 640 or something along those lines, and then most of the enemies were wanting to retreat. They wanted to retreat, and I was perfectly happy to allow them to do that, because I frankly did not want to be fighting anymore. You know, I've been fighting for such a long amount of time, I really did not want to fight any further. But they had other plans. Actually, one person in their entire band of vassals decided to head in here with 68 or something, somewhere around there, units, and it has actually brought every single vassal in the area into this fight. And you can tell that they did not want to do that. They really did not want to do that. These guys, the other ones, the ones that actually wanted to retreat because they obviously have, well, basically no units remaining, they wanted to retreat and recuperate their forces. But no. We are, well, I mean, we're not allowing them, you know, we're not disallowing them from actually running away. It's actually one of their allies that is betraying them by the looks of things. I mean, if I didn't know any better, I would say that there was definitely some backstabbing going on in the background, you know, in the shadows. But yes, anyway, this is going to be a pretty easy defense here. And, well, I've leveled up 5 times now in the span of a couple of episodes because of all these siege defenses. So we are definitely going to have a whole bunch of attribute points and skill points to spend after this. Well, that seems to be it. Linearia actually managed to get a kill as well, which I'm very pleased about because usually my companions don't really get kills. I have advanced them, by the way. I did get them a bunch of helms and shields and all that sort of stuff, so they are actually a little bit better than they were beforehand, but obviously some of them still do not have the strength requirements available for the better gear. Anyway, let's see how many of these guys there actually are. So let's count, yeah? So let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for being taken prisoner. Oh, hello. Yes, that's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are you serious? 13. 13! Unlucky number 13 for these guys, that's for sure. Wow, I am really surprised that they decided to come here with that many, and they all had, when I looked in the garrison just before entering, they all had about 50 to 80 units, and I thought to myself, whoa, okay, these guys are ripe for the picking. It's field battle time. Oh yeah, we're back near to the Weeping Town, and Renly has actually been doing some work. Yes, he's actually started to gather more and more troops into his army. He still doesn't have a very formidable one, which is actually pretty good for me, in case we do actually get him into a battle in this episode, but it's good progress, because beforehand he had about 43, maybe 50 units. Now he has 75, so he's been doing quite a bit to get his units up and running for a potential fight. Now, talking of potential fights, we are actually attempting to tackle a couple of, well, Stormlands vassals right here. Now, the main reason why I want to attack these Stormlands vassals is very simple. I want to make sure that they stay as weakened as possible, because they really don't have that many units in each of their armies, although they still have a couple of Stormlander Knights, which is actually kind of interesting. So that's something I'm not a big fan of, as you can no doubt tell, but, you know, that's just how it is. You know, if they have knights, then they have knights. And I believe these are actually a part of Mary Mertens and her army, because I haven't really seen her for a very long time. It could be a part of Courtenay Penrose's as well, because he's actually here too. And, well, yeah, I don't think we've seen him that often, so it might be that as well. But we are going to have to be a bit careful here, because we are outnumbered. We are actually outnumbered by a pretty significant amount. I have about 160 of my own units here, and the enemy has 230 or 240, something like that. So we might have some difficulties here, but I think we'll be okay, because we generally have much better unit quality, with the exception of the Stormlands Knights, because I don't have many knights, if any, actually. I don't think I have any knights. So there's that. And hopefully after this, the Stormlands will be so weakened that they will not be able to launch any retaliations against Crow's Nest, because Crow's Nest is actually where I have placed all of the vassals that I was able to take prisoner from the Westerlands, because none of my fiefs have a prisoner tower, so I basically have to put them somewhere. Otherwise, because my lacking prisoner management capacity is only 10, I think, I'm not entirely sure or 100% on this because I've never really taken that many prisoners at once. But basically, if you are over the limit in terms of how many prisoners you can actually have, then they will start letting them go. And I don't know whether this happens with lords or whether it just happens with regular units. Because, as I say, I've never been in that situation before. Sometimes I've been able to maybe take a couple of vassals prisoner here or there, but I've never been able to take how many? How many did we take even? Like 7 or 8. So I had a massive, a massive, really massive total right there, and that's definitely something to be a bit worried about. That's why I rushed over to Crow's Nest as soon as possible and basically put them in the prisoner tower there, even though I don't have a prisoner tower improvement. So we are hopefully not going to see a huge amount of them escape. One of them has already been ransomed, by the way, so that's pretty good. I gained another 3,300 from that, so that's pretty good. And as you can see, we're... oh dear. Yes, it's going to take us quite a bit of time to actually win in this particular battle. It's a bit weird, really, because I have my battle size on... I think it's on like 150 or 100 and something. 170 or something like that. So I shouldn't really have any problems. Isn't it on 150, actually? I think it is on 150. I think my custom settings are not actually applied here, because obviously if I'm playing different mods, then generally that's not going to happen. But I definitely need to improve my battle size, I think, so I'm probably going to do that at some point, because as it stands right now, I think we would probably have a pretty easy time of things if I had a significant numbers advantage, but obviously these guys do have the battle advantage after all. Alright, so we gained 18 renown and a little bit of morale for that, and we are going to be able to take this guy prisoner once again. I am feeling a bit sorry for him, actually, because he seems to always get himself taken prisoner. Anyway, let's have a look and see if I can take any people here. We might take some vanguards, I guess. That might be okay. And, oh, wow. Okay, we're getting some pretty awesome stuff right here. Our companions, if they can actually get to strength 16 each, are going to be some of the most well armored in the entirety of Westeros. What do we have here? Oh my, I have been waiting for such a long time, and let me just tell you, I was almost out of food because I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just wait here until the very last moment, and then I'm gonna leave. And I was just about to go because I have literally like about a day left, and Harrenhal is under siege by the Reach once again, and Renly actually came out to attack me, which I'm really pleased about. So let's get him. Yeah, there we go. You have been the thorn in my side for far too long, Renly. We have 150, they have, I believe, 110 or something like that. I don't know. I don't take really much notice of the number specifically, but anyway, we're going to be basically just charging straight at them here. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. I kind of wanted to get the first strike. That would have been really nice, but it seems like they pulled back at the very last moment, and we are now going to get lanced in the face. Maybe I can still get the first strike if I'm actually... no, I was not fast enough with my horse right there. That's kind of a shame, to be honest, but I guess there's not much I can do about it. This guy is obviously going to have, and I'm talking about Renly here, he's obviously going to have superly really good units. Superly. So good units that I came up with a whole new way to describe how fantastic his units actually are. So superly. Yeah. Superly. Very good. Very good. I'll let myself out. Anyway, let's see if I can maybe just do some damage here. My forces are absolutely picking the enemy cavalry apart, which is really good. And maybe I'll be able to do something here as well. Where is Renly himself? I'm actually unsure what to do about... Never mind. He got himself killed that easily. I actually thought to myself, what is the easiest way And the best way to actually ensure that you get an enemy vassal taken prisoner, I'm actually unsure. I don't know, because I know that in some mods, if you knock them unconscious a certain way, it may make a difference to how much you're actually going to have success-wise, how much chance you're going to have. And obviously in Pendor and things like that, prisoner management also has an effect, but I don't think that that is how it is here. So I really don't know. I don't know how it's going to be. So I guess we'll just have to try our best and just cross our fingers. That's basically all we can do. We can just cross our fingers and hope, because that's all that I really have to do here. But yep, hopefully we will be lucky, because if I'm not lucky, I am going to, I'm just going to, it's going to grind my gears like no one's business, because I've been waiting outside the Weeping Town for most of the last couple of episodes, and you haven't even seen the uncut footage, The uncut footage has been, just absolutely, just me standing there, It's basically just that, just me standing outside the town and just twiddling my thumbs. And it's not been good. It's not been good at all. So I'm very, very pleased that we actually do have an opportunity to tackle him now, and maybe just maybe get him taken prisoner. So let's hope that that will happen. Where are all of my forces, by the way? Can you actually charge in? They seem to be a bit slow when they get across the river there, which is not particularly good. But all I care about is taking Renly prisoner. That is it. Even if I end up losing a couple of units here and a couple of units there, I really don't mind, because we do now have 2 castles, and these castles are, of course, now capable of basically automatically recruiting relatively good units. And you only have to spend about 800 per time to be able to do that, which is really good in my opinion. So I'm pretty happy with that, and that's the reason why I'm being a bit reckless in my pursuit of this guy, because technically I could have attacked him by himself, or maybe I could have waited a little bit longer or something like that, but I think that at this time, this is the only course of action I could have taken, because I really did not want him hiding in any garrison anymore. And I'm just going to run through all of their archers right here, just take them all down. And maybe I can, there we go, yeah, there we go, nice. I saved you, Martin Snow. How do you feel? Do you feel nice? I hope you feel nice. Anyway, let's see whether we're actually going to be able to take him prisoner. There's 12 renown. I killed 61. And there's one remaining. Okay, I guess I'll just tell them to, yes, there we go. Okay, that is, okay, I'm just gonna lay back. I was gonna say, no, I'm just gonna sit back a little bit, just kind of relax, because wow, that was this guy. Okay, you're going to be mine now. Thank you. And I am going to be taking him prisoner as well. Fantastic. I am so pleased about this. You cannot know. You cannot know, because it is just, it's been such a long time. Such a long time. Okay, so let me see here. I'm actually going to get rid of these guys, so I have exactly what I need. Okay. Let's speak to Renly. Lord Renly, the king has decreed that your titles, holdings, and your life are forfeit. Do you have any last words? Why should Stannis be king and not me? The crown would suit me like it never suited Robert, and it would certainly never suit Stannis. If you would serve me, you would be well rewarded. Gold, lands, honors, I'll grant you everything in my power. Well, I'm actually going to say no to that, obviously. You do not deserve leniency. You must pay for your crimes with your life. In the name of Stannis of the House Baratheon, the first of his name, King of Westeros, I do sentence you to die. Have you any final words to say? No, do not do it. I'll bend the knee, I swear. The prisoner struggles against his shackles, desperate to free himself and escape you, but to no avail. You slit his throat. And as you can see, all of these guys have now joined Dragonstone. I am relieved. I am so relieved. Okay, so I'm pretty good here. I'm going to level up all my companions off screen. And now, as you can see... Oh, yes. That is exactly what we want to see. Dragonstone now owns a pretty significant portion of Westeros. Obviously, not much in comparison. I mean, you know, not much in comparison to the Reach and to the Westerlands, but they are having a much more solid foothold over things. And as you can see, Mistwood and the Weeping Town are still under control of the Stormlands, but they're going to be very easy to eliminate now, or at least I hope so. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching. That was really successful, and I will see you next time.